got all kinds of wind that blows out here. The winds of opportunity, the winds of circumstances, the political winds, the social winds. The winds are always blowing. You cannot change the winds, but you can change the set of the sail. Self-confidence means willingness to do whatever it takes to achieve, to rise above what happens. Self-confidence really comes from feeling good about yourself. And one of the best ways to feel good about yourself is at the end of the day to know that you poured it on. You did your best. At the end of those kind of days, when you feel good about yourself, self-confidence starts to rise. You know that if you can have this kind of a good day, you can have another one the next day, and those days become the weeks become the months, and the month becomes a powerful year. The distributors now is what has made Herbalife come alive. The distributors that tell the story, the distributors that conduct the meetings, the distributors that take the products to the marketplace, the stories you've collected, the products you've sold, the times you've been out there when it wasn't that easy to get the job done, and when the weather was bad and the nights were long and the criticism was deep, you went out there and did it anyway. And I'm telling you, the magic of Herbalife is sitting right here in this room. It's your hands that make it work. It's your voice that make it work. It's your words that give the dream content so that somebody can understand it, so that somebody can see it. Let your distributors borrow your eyes to see into the future, things they cannot at first see. Let them borrow your vision. It's action that turns ideas into reality. It's action that builds the city.
Learning this information is great, but it's useless unless you start putting it into action, okay? And the more action you get, the more confident you get. If you have the desire to want to learn, and you have the desire to want to grow, and if you have the desire to want to be and have a better life and to be a better person, you can do it.
The same wind blows on us all, the wind of circumstance as well as the wind of opportunity. You cannot change the wind that blows, but you can set a better sail. And what's so exciting now about the Herbalife opportunity is to have plenty of examples around you of people that started right where they were, decided to make the personal changes themselves, and let the Herbalife opportunity become something valuable for them. You're going to have an incredible sail set that'll take advantage of the winds so that you can go wherever you want to go. There's a whole new sense of destiny for Herbalife Company, Herbalife distributors, Herbalife home office, Herbalife leaders, without a doubt. Mark left us in such a fantastic place to take advantage of the next 20 years, having given us his leadership over the first 20 years. Got us to almost $2 billion in sales, 48, 49 countries. He left us with incredible systems to use. He left us with an intricate working power of all of the systems that are working all around the world. It was just unbelievable. He would be proud today to see all those systems at work that brought all of you from all over the world to this Masters. He would have said, we did a good job that first 20 years. Now it's up to all of us to take it on for the next 20 years. The things that Mark taught us were incredible. Here's a pretty good list. First, Mark taught us to get a dream, a business dream, which he helped to formulate. A dream of supporting your children in whatever educational channels they might want to go. A dream of having a business that would satisfy all of your wishes for the future. A chance to be from the profits of your business to be benevolent, you know, like he was, to support worthy projects, to do all of that. Then, of course, Mark taught us to have a personal dream. What do you want for yourself? What do you want for your family? What kind of person would you like to become in the future? What skills could you learn? What could you possibly do with the association of Herbalife and the influence of Mark and Herbalife? The whole key was to see what kind of person you could become, to not settle for less than you could be, to overcome the obstacles personally, develop your personality, become a charismatic person, and to become all that you could possibly become and not leave anything out. That was Mark's dream for all of us. And what we need to do now at the Masters, now that we've heard all of the teaching and all of the training and having it wrapped up here today, is to have a new sense of your business dream, Herbalife dream, the profits you want to make, the business you want to build, the organization you want to have, the people you want to reach, but also coupled with that are your personal dreams. Because what drives us to do the business, what drives us to get up those early hours, what drives us to stay up those late hours, what causes us to put out that extra energy to do an extraordinary job is our personal dreams. And I promise you that if you've got those personal dreams that you want to accomplish, the business dreams of Herbalife can make all those personal dreams come true. I'm asking you not to sell yourself short. If you've got some dreams that you've put away because you thought were impossible, I want you right now to start making a list of all of those things that you really want, because we're here the next few years with the Herbalife dream to help make all your dreams come true. That's what we're all about.
You're going to have to sit your family down and talk about your commitment. You're going to have to get the whole family bought in on the program, okay? And discuss it and agree. You're going to work this much. You're going to play this much. This is what it's going to mean if you do this. Okay, if I work this hard, here's what we might get. Okay, and keep your commitments. Okay, and that may have to be refined from the day you start to the time you can become a GET team member. It may have to be refined. And when you become a millionaire team member, it may have to be refined. And when you get to the president's team, it may be have to be refined. And then when your spouse sits there looking at you as a president's team member, and your burning desire is to go for chairman's club, okay, and they're getting on your nerves because they don't want you working like crazy to get to the chairman's club, okay, you're going to have one of those little sweet talks.
You know, the most important thing that I could say is, you know, if you keep to the plan that we talked about here of keeping the business simple and keeping the product simple, using mostly the testimonials, keeping your opportunity meetings simple, keeping the business part of it simple, and doing 10 people a day to get 2 people to work down line with them. Help your people, just don't leave them alone, send them off to the meetings. Those are the most important thing. Besides that, it's going to be consistency, doing this day after day after day, okay? You're going to have some good days, and you're going to have some unbelievable days, okay? And going through the bad days are just as important as going through the good days, okay? It makes you a stronger person. It makes you more of a better person to get through the times that are rough in your life, not just with Herbalife, but your own personal life.
Here's all I know what to do. You work hard when it's easy, and you work twice as hard when it's not easy. That's all I know what to do. Doesn't sound like real big advice, okay, but that's what I did. When the FDA happening, let me tell you something. I was working harder than I've ever worked in my entire life. I was working the FDA problems. I was working like crazy. So what do you do to overcome adversity? You work twice as hard. That's what you do. You get out and you make it happen. I'm not any big speaker like Jim Rohn. I don't know how to talk to you about personal growth. Here's all I know is practice makes perfect. You listen, you learn, you try, you fail, you try, you fail, you try, you fail, you try till you get better, you try till you get perfect, and then you try again until you're better than that. And then the last one is you never get satisfied with how good you are. You're always better the next time. That's all I know about personal growth. There's not a meeting that we're going to do that's not going to be better than the next one. Isn't this the best summit you've ever been to? Huh? Huh? trust me, the next one's going to be unbelievable. Because there's not ever going to be a meeting where we're satisfied enough. They're always going to be better, and we're always going to be doing it in more incredible, and it's going to be more always unbelievable than the last one. That's the way it's got to be. If you want personal growth. That's all I know about personal growth. It's got to be better. That's all I know. Got to be better than the last one.
Treat all of your people great, okay? Including the ones that said no, by the way. Because they may be the one that you see 3 years from now, okay, that says, you know, I met you and you treated me terrible. Or they say to you, you know, I saw you about 3 years ago and you treated me real nice. What's happening with that Herbalife business? It's doing incredible, man. When I met you, I know I was only making about $2,000 a month, but it's just gotten unbelievable. And let me show it to you again, because it's gotten a lot better since then. Having faith in the company, have faith in yourself, have faith in the products, have faith in us, because we're going to do the most unbelievable things you've ever seen in business history, okay? And the way I kind of see Herbalife someday in the future, okay, is kind of like, if you could imagine coffee and tea, okay, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, okay? Nobody really thought coffee was going to be that big a deal and stuff like that. But today, what's the deal, okay? Even if you don't drink coffee, you have to have coffee in your house. And the reason you have to have coffee in your house is you want to be a good host, so that when people come over and say, well, what would you like to drink? They would say, well, I'd like to have some coffee. And it's kind of the way I see Herbalife. We're not that big yet, but someday when we get huge, you have to have Herbalife in your house.
How do you keep a customer motivated? Okay, I want to talk about how do you keep your customer motivated. You keep your customer motivated if you want to, when you're first getting your customer, you tell them your own testimonial. That's how you motivate them. You tell them your own testimonial. If you don't have a great testimonial, what's great about now as compared to when we started, because we had no stories, okay, and it was very difficult. All we talked about was the future and how it was going to be and how everybody was going to lose. Today, if you don't really have a great story because you haven't really lost much weight because you didn't have much weight to lose, you use other people's stories, okay, about how they've lost weight, okay, to keep the customer motivated, okay? Write this one down because this is a big one. You continue to go back and tell the person more stories and more stories and more stories. That's why we keep printing you lots of journals, okay, so you have lots of different stories to continue to tell people. Telling them one story is great. Showing them 4 stories is better. Showing them 100 stories every single month as time goes on, because it's, write this down, it's the fresh stories that keep you excited. Not only you, but them. Now the other place how you keep them excited is if you've got weight to lose, okay? If you've got weight to lose, maybe you started off on the product and you lost 10 kilos right away and you were excited, okay? And there's no question when you're excited, you sell lots of product, okay? But now let's suppose you've plateaued and you've still got 25 kilos to lose, okay? And now you're going back to your customers and you're trying to convince your customers it's gonna work, it's gonna work, it's gonna work. If you stay the same weight over a month after month after month, you're not gonna keep your customers motivated, okay? Because they're gonna see that you are pitching something that's not reality because you are not continuing to lose your weight. So if you want to continue to make your customers excited, okay, that means that you have to take responsibility for your own weight, your own looks, your own face, your own health the most. Because that what you are is what you project, and that's what your people believe in, okay? And I'm not trying to put so much pressure on you that if you really got a lot of weight to lose here today and all that, that you got to get rid of it this week. I'm not saying that. What you got to do this week is you've got to make some progress. 1 pound, 2 pounds, okay? Next week, 1 pound, 2 pounds. I promise you, any of you that are having problems with selling the product, lose your weight and it'll take care of everything. I'm serious. Sometimes we have this this ability to lie to ourselves about why things are not going right, okay? And it's keeping yourself excited, okay, is what's the most important. And when you're getting that weight down, you get excited, and you get more confident, and you get more courage, okay? And that confidence and that courage and that feeling that you love about the products is what transmits to people, okay? It's not always so much what you say about the products that's important. It's how you feel about what you say about these products that's so important. And people read that. Don't you think that they can't? It's what's in your eyes. It's how in your voice. It's in your heart, okay? That is what people believe in, okay? So you got to take responsibility for yourself first and get excited about what's happening to you, and that will excite other people because you have to match your pitch. If you're saying something and you are not matching the pitch, okay, then it's no wonder people don't believe so much. And again, I'm not trying to say it's got to be all at once. Here's the most important thing. Write this down. You got to make some progress, okay? Little by little by little by little so that you can keep yourself excited. A lot of people have asked me how did I keep myself so excited back in the beginning? One, I was working on myself. And number two, I got lots of people, okay? If you have one customer and it's a refund, how does your business look? Bad, okay? If you got 100 customers and you only get 4 or 5 refunds, does it bum you out? Not much, okay? Because you got another 40, 50, 80 customers telling you their new experience about what's happening and what's going on and what's happening. Those stories is what keeps you excited. And those stories that you get that keep you excited, you tell those stories to other people and you keep them excited. Every time I go and do another rally and stuff like that, we've come back and we've seen other things happen to people and we've heard their stories, and I keep interjecting all my different stuff that happens, okay? And so keep it fresh by doing lots.
One of the most important things I learned in building my business, here it is. As many distributors, as many customers as possible to represent each distributor, and as many distributors as possible to represent each supervisor volume. As many customers as possible to represent the distributor, as many distributors as possible to represent the supervisor volume. Here's what else I learned. Mark Hughes knew it. All prospects are equal. There's a surprise a day waiting for you, right? When you recruit someone, you think they're going to stay, they leave. Someone you think is going to leave, they stay. Here's what you say in both instances. Isn't that interesting? I thought sure they were going to stay. They left. I thought sure they were going to leave. They stayed. Here's what I've learned to do. Discipline your disappointment. Especially if it's someone you know and they try so little when they need to do it so much. I learned sometimes those that need it the most are inclined the least. Those that should, don't. Those that could, won't. Here's what we call that, mysteries of the mind. I don't know. Someone says, well, this product doesn't work for me. I said, it was designed not to work for some people. So, I don't know. Because I used to try to make everybody successful, found out that was impossible. I said, I'll make them successful if it kills me. I almost died, so I gave that up. Do your best to teach and inspire and instruct, and then just see what happens. Let yourself be surprised. So let me give you this quick list now as I wrap it up. Here's the first one. Have some patience, Mark said. Patience to work with a variety of personalities. Some customers are easy, and some are a pain. Some distributors are easy, and some are a pain. Have the patience, do the best you can. I know sometimes patience finally runs out, but until then, do the best you can. Next, you got to have faith to believe, faith in yourself, faith in the process, faith in the plan, faith in the products, With what we've heard now about products these last few days, and especially today, you can have faith that Herbalife's going to continue to have the best products available that science can possibly produce. Here's what's next. Learn to make wise decisions. Wise decisions about yourself, your organization, your family, your future. When Mark had been in business about 2.5 years, he had plenty of money and he could have quit. Then why did he invest all those years from the time he made enough to retire? He kept on going until finally he died age 44. Why would he continue to do that? Here's why. He became financially independent so that he could then work for joy and not for necessity. I had that happy opportunity when I met Mark, because I didn't need the money, but I did need the joy. I did need the challenge. And that's what's been exciting for me, to work here, not for the money, but for the joy. Next, consistency, day in, day out, Mark taught. Integrity, to maintain the company's reputation for the future so that those we recruit today will have a future for tomorrow and ongoing. Maintain Herbalife's integrity and your own integrity to do the right thing. The next word I want to leave with you is courage. Sometimes when it all seems wrong, you just have to stay in there and have courage to stay. Courage in public. Here's some of the most important courage. Courage in private. When you've got nobody to talk to but yourself, have courage to tell yourself the truth. Here's where I really am. Here's what I'm really doing. Here's what's really going on. That kind of courage will change your life. Here's the next one, courage to change. If you've gotten some information here already today to make some changes in your program, changes in your thought, changes in your philosophy, how to do the business, make those changes. Here's the next one, courage to be silent when it's so easy to talk. Here's the big one, courage to forgive. If somebody you've been working with and there seems to be a little tension, things aren't going well, somebody asks you to forgive, do that. Next, the courage to risk, like the farmer does every year, planting in the spring. Risk your emotions and your time and your heart. And to finish, learn the lesson of the seasons. Do the work of summer. Here's what summer's for: to nourish your values like a mother, give them life, to protect them like a father. Do the work of summer, staying the whole season, staying till it turns, staying till it happens. As you would protect a newborn baby as a father and nourish it like a mother, so treat your organization. Next, in the harvest, when it comes, there's two things in life that are so important. Number one, the full development of all your potential. Here's the next one, the wise use of all your resources. All those years ago, I started teaching 70, 10, 10, and 10. Don't spend more than 70% of what you earn. Then 10 cents for charity, 10 cents for active capital, which is Herbalife, 10 cents for investment capital. And here's the last season to finish. When the winter comes, hopefully you'll be prepared from what you've done before the winter arrives. But the winter of surprise, the winter of death, the winter of illness, the winter of difficulties, make this note, just hang on. You know, the winter cannot last forever. There's never been a double winter. Some are difficult and some are easier. There's never been a double night. The night only lasts for a few hours, and then the day finally dawns and the shadows flee away.
You don't beg people to get into the business. Sometimes, especially when you're new and you're in the back of the row there, okay, and you're talking, and when you're doing it at the beginning, it's always the hardest, okay? And the reason it's the hardest is because that's when you're the brokest, and that's when your car's not looking good, and your suit's not looking good, and you're afraid that they're going to turn off the electricity at your house, and you can't pay the mortgage bills, and you're scared about paying the food for little Billy and little Sally, and everything's terrible. So your attitude's the messed up the most, okay? So consequently, you're not that strong when you're recruiting, and you're begging people to get in, please get in so I can make some money. Most people could care less how much money you make. They only care about how much money they make themselves. That's what they care about. And let me tell you something. You shouldn't be begging them to get into this company. They should be begging you to get into this company. This is Herbalife.